All right. This is called Project Engineering Success, and it is the third year that we're running this program. The idea is to um, expose mostly freshmen, also some sophomores and transfer students to research opportunities in their disciplines, and to do that early enough so that students will be able to connect with mentors, to connect with graduate students, and hopefully it will help their retention and graduation rates. So it is a year-long program. And then we're doing the matching. So we're coupling the students with the faculty mentors. And so the students are going to be working on research projects, both in engineering and computer science, hopefully related to their discipline, but not necessarily. So if you are, let's say, in, I don't know, biomedical engineering, for instance, but you would like to do research in mechanical engineering, that is an option. So, but the first possibility would be to match you with someone from your discipline. So you will conduct novel hands-on research at SJSU labs with graduate students and under the mentorship of a faculty member. You will present the work at the end of the year, and we have a big symposium where students are presenting their research work. The work is, well, it varies, but most likely it is in a group of students. So you're not working on your own, but in a group of maybe 3, 4, 5 students. It is mainly an in-person program. So meaning that especially if you are doing a hands-on research, you will be working on campus. Some of the projects, mainly in computer science, may be done remotely, but you should work under the assumption that it is an in-person program. And the participants are required to spend at least 5 hours per week on average on the research project. And when I say on average, because we are aware of your busy schedule, and we definitely do not want this program to hurt your studies. So in times when, let's say, you have midterms or you have some big project to submit, it's okay not to spend those 5 hours in the lab, right? So that's why we said on average. We do want you to work on the research project so that at the end of the year, you'll have something to show, right? And you will learn also something. So we do want you to put in the time. We're not gonna track those 5 hours, right? So that's why I said on average. And then at the end of the year, also, you will be asked to take part in a 1-hour focus group interview with an evaluator that is not part of the program, just so that we kind of get your feeling and your the good things that we have in the program, the bad things that we can work on for next year. But that's going to happen at the end of the spring semester. In terms of the selection process, so the next step after this meeting, and that's going to happen either tonight or tomorrow morning, I'm going to email you another application form. It is kind of a commitment application, right? So if you agree with all the terms of the program and you would like to commit to that full year, then you will fill out this form, and in this form is also going to indicate some time slots for a one-on-one interview. Then the students that fill out this form will be invited to an interview. It's going to be a Zoom for like a 10-minute interview with me, mainly just to get the feeling of what are your interests and if you have some experience or not. We do not require any prior experience, but just, I mean, just for our purposes, we would like to know if you maybe have something. So then those students who fill out the form will be invited to the interview, and then we'll do, after those interviews are being completed, we will do the selection process, and then we will do the matching and the introduction with the research advisor. So in terms of timeline, so the second application form will be sent by tomorrow. So it's either going to be tonight or tomorrow. And then if you're interested, you will fill out this form and indicate your availability for the 10-minute interview. You then will be invited to the interview. And then after the interview, we'll do the selection. And then those students will be informed, or I mean, all the students will be informed. I mean, whether or not you got into the program, you'll be informed. And then the program will begin either late September or the beginning of October. That is to be determined, but that is roughly the timeline. The reason why we would like you kind of to think through before and then commit is that we have limited space in the program, and although it is possible to drop at any point, we're not going to penalize you, but we would prefer that someone who will start will stay through the duration of the program, just because those people are taking space from others, right? So that's why we want you to kind of commit to that average of 5 hours per week of working on a research project. Okay, so that was the end of the slideshow. So let me just stop sharing and then I can look at the chat. Okay, so now it's basically your questions. So either type in the chat or just ask. I'm gonna kind of answer the chat questions until someone asks. So question is this a paid opportunity? So unfortunately not. So it's not a paid opportunity through the program. Sometimes your research mentor may be able to apply for some fundings and you can get paid through that, but it is not through this specific program. Again, unfortunately. The interviews will be through Zoom. Okay, so there's a question, what is the main difference between this process, project engineering success and the university research, also known as UROP? So I'm not very familiar with the UROP program. It is newer than ours. The main difference is that we are only working with engineering and computer science. The other one is a centralized program, and the people who are running it are not from engineering. So the chances of them matching you with someone from your discipline are lower. We work, again, we only work with engineering and computer science. The mentors are only faculty from engineering and computer science. So again, I'm not familiar with the other program, but I do know that it is not operated by engineering faculty. I'm gonna put it this way. Acceptance rate into this program, well, I cannot really So the question is, what is the acceptance rate into this program? I don't know how many applications I'm gonna have. Last year we had, I don't know, it's hard to say. I think it was around 60, 70% acceptance rate. That's last year. We do prioritize, so we do prioritize freshmen first, and then sophomore transfer students are kind of on the same level. We also, it is a function of the how many mentors we have. So yeah, so that also may change the our ability to take in students. But so I cannot answer because I don't know how many applications, like final applications, we will have. But last year it was about 65, 70%. What kind of questions will I ask during the interview? So those are mainly, I mean, I'm not going to ask you anything technical, and we are not expecting any prior experience. I'm mainly going to ask you, obviously, what is your major? What are your interests? So if you have any, it's also okay to say, I don't have any, I mean, or I don't have any specific interests. Anything related to mechanical engineering is okay. But if you do have a specific interest, I would like to hear that. I will ask you if you have any prior experience, and I may also be able to outline the different projects that are available in your discipline. So that's about the interview. It's very informal, just so that I can get a feeling of your interests and have a better way of feeding you with the mentor. Are the slides going to be posted? So the slides are going to be posted on the website. Let me put the link real quick. Okay, so I'm gonna. Okay, so I just put the link to our website. So the slides are going to be published there right after the meeting. Hold on. Okay. Would students be able to do hands-on work with machines, or is it just purely research? So I'm assuming that when you say research, you mean reading materials. So the answer is you will definitely be doing hands-on work. So when we say research, we mean you also read materials, you read articles, but you also run experiments, okay, and you collect data. So so definitely you'll do hands-on. So question, I'm assuming we can use this as a work experience on the resume, definitely. And you can also, since you will be working closely with faculty, you'll be able to get their recommendation. During the interview, should we have an idea of what we want our project to be? So the projects will be given to you by your research mentor. During the interview, I will ask you if you have a specific interest. For example, let's say that you are in computer science and you want to do something related to machine learning. I mean, I know it's very, very general, right? So that would be a good answer. Another answer will be, I don't know, if you want to work in robotics, right? So you don't need to come up with your research project. That is something that will be given to you by your mentor. If you have a specific area that you're interested, then it will be good to say that during the interview. And it will also ask you that in the form. But if you don't have any idea and you just want something related to your major, that's also okay. And then if you want to look at the projects, at least from previous years, you can go to the website and you can see the projects from previous years. Some of them will be, or they will, they're not going to be the same this year, but you can get a feeling of what are the projects. How can we fill the application form? So again, I will send that. So as long as you fill out the original application form and I have your email address there, I will send to that list of people. I will send the new application form. Okay, so you should receive it through email. Are you able to take UROP and engineering success concurrently? I'm not sure. I don't know. Again, I don't know all the details about UROP. In engineering success, we don't care if you're doing other things, but you don't want to spread yourself too thin. You do want to spend the time in working on a project. So I would say do either one. I would not recommend doing both, but we also we don't penalize you for doing that. So, and we wouldn't know. So there's a question: if you submitted your application yesterday, will you still be able to? Will you still be considered? Then yes, I will consider everyone who will fill out the second application form, which I will send to those who fill out the first application form. Okay, so as long as you fill that out and I have your email address, you'll get the second application form, and those are the ones that will be considered. Those are the ones that will be invited for the interview and will be considered. So make sure to, if you are interested, make sure to submit the second application form as well. Can students in the third semester apply as a CS major? So third semester meaning you're a sophomore, and you definitely can apply. Freshmen are getting first priority, but we've had sophomores and also sometimes juniors in the program before. So during the interviews, I already answered that. Just let me know if I need to say any more information about the interviews. Is everyone guaranteed an interview? As long as you fill out the second application form, you will be invited to an interview, yes. Will we be able to manage this opportunity with a club? So specifically the formula club, I think it's very time consuming. I don't know. I mean, it's time management. I think you can, but it's up to you. Does our performance on the interview affect our chances of acceptance? So in the interview, I'm not asking any technical questions, right? It's just mainly about your interests and, what is it that you want to do. So you can't really fail that interview. So I don't know. The answer is no, I would say. Are there any deadlines for projects other than the end of the year symposium? No, so that is the hard deadline. I mean, those who will get into the program will get more information. We will, on me, I'm going to do check-ins with the students, but there's nothing to be submitted until the end of the spring semester. It's about 2 weeks prior to the end of the spring semester where you need to submit your poster. But your research mentor may have deadlines for you, right? So each research mentor may give you something to read, and you will need to summarize it, or you will need to do some work in the lab and then report back. So there are going to be deadlines, but those are going to be internal deadlines. So just to confirm, there is another application that will be sent to all of us today or tomorrow. Correct. And there's another application form if you are interested in the program, because we've had a lot, over 200 applications for that original form. I'm assuming that not all of them are willing to commit to the program. That is the reason why I'm sending the second application form, and I'm hoping that only those who are willing to commit to the year-long program will fill it, and then those are the ones that will be considered further. So yes, there will be a second application form that will be sent out. I'll try to do it tonight, but maybe tomorrow morning. You do not need to bring or submit resumes for your interviews. The interview is not formal, no need to dress up. It's going to be virtual, so Zoom, but definitely not formal. Yeah, just very low key. How do we know if we already sent an application? So if you received an email from me, I have your application. If you're not sure, just submit another one, okay? Where can we access second application form? I will send it through email. If you do not receive an email from me by, let's say, this time tomorrow, and you are interested, let me know. Okay. Second application form will be submitted or will be sent by email. When will the program start? The program will start either late September but more likely the beginning of October. Will all projects start from scratch? The question is, will all projects start from scratch? Not necessarily. Sometimes you will come in and will join a team of students that they're already working, and maybe you will do something related to their work. All of the faculty have active research groups, meaning that we have students that are working year long on various research projects. So it is likely that you will be part of that. So meaning that you will not start something from scratch. But sometimes you will. It really depends on the discipline. It depends on the faculty. During the symposium, who will be present? So in the symposium, so it's a poster presentation. So you will have a poster and you'll stand next to your poster. People who are coming will be faculty, deans of both engineering and science. The provost came one year. So both administrators and faculty. at SJSU, and also students are also invited. So we send out invitation to a wide range of people. Okay, any other questions? So if you don't have any questions and everything is clear, and I mean, feel free to log out. I'm gonna stay around just in case people still want to ask anything, but there's not gonna be any other information. Thanks, guys.